So welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and today we're back in the Golden Age with more Fun Comics number 89 from March 1943. Wouldn't you like to look into the future and discover what fate has in store for you? Well, so would countless others who come to the smooth, sleek, soothsaying scoundrel Krishna Das, for that sinister seer gazes into his magic crystal and foresees events that come bewilderingly true. Not until he crosses swords with Dr. Fate, that fantastic figure of mystery, does the sly schemer's crystal lose its magical power, and the conniving criminal learn of the existence of another more powerful magic in the case of the crystal crimes. So Inza and Kent Nelson are walking along, and Inza sees a sign. Look, Kent, the famous Krishna Das. I'd love to have him predict my future. Nonsense, Inza. He's a fraud. No man can foretell what will happen. I suppose you're right, Kent. But all the same, people say that everything he prophesies comes true. You know, she has fallen so far. She used to be uh, a partner, a very useful partner. Now she's just another dumb female. It's very sad because she was kind of groundbreaking. Meanwhile, Krishna Das is talking to this one woman, telling her future, and he says that she will find a painting that is highly undervalued. And so she says, I'll watch for that painting, Krishna Das. My husband says I never bought a bargain in my life. I'll prove to him that he's wrong. Um, Inza says, Kent says it's nonsense, but everyone else goes to Krishna Das, and I want to hear what he has to say. So the wealthy woman leaves, thanking Krishna Das, and he does Inza's future. He says, I see danger, terrible danger. You are alone, you are walking. Something swoops down at you, but you escape. Fate is kind to you. Oh dear, I'm sorry I came. I wish he hadn't told me such unpleasant things, except it says that she's saved. So he tells one of his henchmen to go out and make the prophecy with Inza come true. I I got you, boss. I'll get out the car and do a job right away. Meanwhile, Dr. Fate is watching Inza just in case, and he spots Krishna Das talking to this thug, and heads out there. There she is, but what's that behind her? Hey, get out of the road. Haha, she don't know. The boss fixed this up to scare. He didn't really swoop down. That's the man I saw talking to Krishna Das. Dr. Fate, I'd better scram and tell the boss he's monkeying around. So he goes over to check on Inza. Was almost run over, just what the seer predicted. No, that's not really what he predicted. And furthermore, he told Miss Van Court she was going to buy a painting, and I'm sure it will happen, as he said. Again, she seems dim-witted now, whereas she used to seem very intelligent. Um, he gained nothing from the accident, except maybe a reputation for predicting the future. I better look into the matter of the painting. So he goes, and she is looking at this painting, and the guy tells her that it is a Rubens, and it's for sale for almost nothing, a mere $10,000. So she's going to go for it, but Dr. Fate comes in. Says, you see, Miss Van Court, Rubens happens to be dead several hundred years. The varnish on a painting hardens and darkens with age. But this varnish is soft and bright. The painting was completed only a few days ago. It's a fake. It can't be. I've been tricked. Krishna Das told me that it would be the chance of a lifetime. So this guy over here is pressing a button, and in comes Krishna Das. You can't spoil my business and get away with it, Dr. Fate. So he just takes this painting of a dog and smashes it over his head. Oh! And then the thugs come along. You can't do that to the boss. For you two I predict that you will meet a tall, dark man. And so he knocks him around for a little bit, and Krishna Das says, these fools don't realize that he's vulnerable. He has to breathe, so he takes the painting and just wraps it around Dr. Fate's head, and knocks him out. What do we do with him, boss? What he wants is good pure oxygen, so we'll give it to him. Plenty of it. So they lock him in this pressure laboratory in an abandoned building. I guess it still works, though. And starts cranking up the pressure of oxygen. If he gets tired of waiting for pure air to kill him, he can turn on that gas burner and kill himself. That way I'm generous. I give him choices. He sure got all the angles figured out, boss. And they go off uh, and leave Dr. Fate to his fate. He's giving another fortune telling to just a watchman, night watchman, but apparently he saved up his money to get a fortune told. Um, so the guy tells about himself that he's a night watchman, and Krishna Das comes up with a plan. I see danger. Men are running. You run after them. They shoot. They fall. Then there is something shiny on your breast. A man hands you a piece of paper. Gee, I'm going to be a hero and get a medal, a reward. Thanks, Krishna Das. So that night, he spots some criminals, and thinking that the prophecy will come true, goes running after them, but gets nailed in the back of the head with a blackjack. This is one prophecy by Krishna Das that won't come true. You're going to be a goat, not a hero. Meanwhile, Dr. Fate is still in the pressure room and sees the gas burner and decides to light it. He made a mistake. The oxygen pressure is so high that the gas will burn with an unusually hot flame. This is almost as good as an acetylene torch. It can melt through the steel. This is just sad because Dr. Fate at one time it was his most powerful weapon was his flame, but apparently it's all gone. Almost all of his powers are gone. So he goes out. He looks at his crystal ball and spots them trying to rob a soap factory. It's time those crooks were cleaned up. Nice safe cracking, boys. Too bad there's nothing in it for you. It's Dr. Fate, again, or his ghost. He starts knocking him around. Hey, how do you get out of this place? The answer is you don't. Curse you, Al. The trouble with you is that you need your mouth washed out with soap. So he finishes them off, and then when they're trying to escape, he just drops all these soap flakes on them. Where did this come from? What is a soap factory? I hope you get the drift on my remarks. This is enough soap to last me the rest of my life. I don't understand. Krishna Das said I would catch some crooks and be a hero. Turn these crooks over to the police, and you will be a hero. This is one prophecy of his that came true, although he didn't expect it to. The trouble with your crystal is that it doesn't show enough. I'm going to bring you to a crystal that will really predict your future. A rapid trip through the air, and then in Dr. Fate's lonely tower. My men, captured by the police. They're going to jail. That's your future too, and this is a prophecy that's going to come true. You don't need to look into a crystal ball to know that you will find smashing, spine-tingling adventure every month with Dr. Fate. That's debatable. So that's one more story, and have another one next week.